A very good morning to you guys. Welcome to Asake Online. This is the Breakfast Club. Today on the show, we're talking about elections, but different elections. Obviously, we're talking about by-elections, but today we're talking about different elections. Highlanders are going to the elections on the 4th of February to elect their executive members. So joining me today on the show to understand his campaigns and also his manifesto, what he will bring as soon as he's elected as the committee member for Highlanders. Joining me is Kindman Ndlovu, popular known as SaNkosie. Good morning to you, sir. Welcome to the Breakfast Club.
Morning, how are you?
Tell us, who is Kindman Ndlovu in terms of experience, where have you worked? Who is Kindman Ndlovu?
Thank you so much for the question. Kindman Ndlovu is a 38-year-old man who is married, a father of 3. Currently, I am a specialist medical ultrasonographer here in Bulawayo within the CPD. That's where I run an ultrasound scan practice and an X-ray practice. But being here as a Highlanders person, Kindman Ndlovu is a passionate, committed, and dedicated member of Highlanders Football Club who follows the club, wherever it goes when it's playing matches, and who has been listening and bringing himself closer to the issues of Highlanders Football Club. I'm also into so many other things, if I can go into them. I also serve as a lecturer at the National University of Science and Technology in the Department of Radiography. I am also already into key leadership areas. I'm the president of the Radiographers Association of Zimbabwe, which is a national association of people that are doing X-rays and ultrasound scans within our country. And then at the same time, I am also someone who is passionate about, community programs, community initiatives. I'm part of a association which is called Material and God, Sheep and Poultry Trust, where I actually serve as the secretary of the board. And at the same time, this organization went on to go into goat farming under the name Kopano, which is Sutu to mean Ukubambana. And I'm the chairperson of this goat farming initiative. I'm also someone who is passionate about informing myself in terms of sports, for especially now that I'm looking at a position where I'll come in and hopefully assist the Highlanders in its administration issues. I am a qualified sports administrator trained by the Sports and Recreation Commission. I am also a low level or introductory level ZIFA level 1 football coaching certificate holder. But above all, I'm also someone who loves doing projects. I'm quite entrepreneurial by my nature. So I'm into goat farming, I'm into pig farming, I'm into guinea farming. And to inform myself in those areas, I hold qualifications in business administration and a qualification in project management. I think that's Kindman.
So now, as you go to the elections, come the 4th of February for the Highlanders elections, what motivated you to jump in and say, guys, please, I'm jumping into the race. I want to be nominated as the committee member for Highlanders?
Okay. Highlanders Football Club is a big institution. It's something that we treasure a lot, within our nation. It's something that we want to be as successful as it can. So as a member, I've been within the organization. I've been within Highlanders Football Club, and I see a lot of areas, where I feel the club could do more. And I think, whatever we do, be it successful or not, it all starts and ends with the kind of decisions that we make. And sometimes decisions are made by the people that are elected into these positions. So I looked at Highlanders Football Club with its areas where I feel there could be improvement. And I said to myself, let me rise, let me stand up and say, here I am to serve, expose myself to the electorate and, give them an option of someone that they can elect and possibly bring in some change.
But now let's look into your manifesto. What are you promising to the fans of Highlanders or the members of Highlanders that will vote for you come the 4th of February? What is your new manifesto in brief?
Okay. There are a number of issues that I'm quite passionate about. I think one of the areas that I wish I could come in and also contribute to a change in that area is the issue to do with corporate governance within Highlanders Football Club. The recent years, we've seen this institution that we love so much failing to meet some of the standards that are expected of an institution as big as it is, things like failing to even present audited statements in its AGMs, failing to account for some funds, that have been used within the organization. or even some issues that seem generally to be administration issues that seem to be rising up within the club. So I feel that, possibly we need to have people coming closer to the club, people who standing up and coming to be elected into positions of leadership, who understand corporate governance, who are already into administration roles in other organizations, so that they can bring their experience and bring their knowledge to the table to try and make the right decisions for the club. I also generally I am passionate about the issue of monetizing the brand Highlanders Football Club. I think as a member, I'm also a fan. I have been interacting with a lot of people. Highlanders is so rich in terms of the number of people that support it. This is the most supported football club in the country, to me. You look at our turnouts whenever we have matches, you see that there is so much value that we can actually tap from all these members. So I look at it as an opportunity for me to also go in and drive the initiative of saying, guys, let's monetize this brand. Let's create as many products as we can so that Highlanders Football Club members, fans, sympathizers have so much that they can purchase, to actually give value back to Highlanders Football Club. I'm also passionate about the issue to do with us, just using Highlanders Football Club to develop our community. And one area we can do that so effectively is when we support young talent within Highlanders Football Club. And when I say that, what comes first into my mind is the issue of our youth academy, where we've got our junior teams. It's an area where I feel we should, be proactive and actually resource, that area as much as we can, so that we continue to produce very good young players like we used to do with Dala. We used to produce very good young players that can actually go and play for any team, be it in the region, and we even exported them, outside the continent. So I want to go in and, advocate for such things. I want to go in and do whatever it takes for us to actually see fruits coming from that area. And obviously there is the issue of also being a voice and speaking for our young talent in terms of them being given as much opportunities as possible for them to actually move into the senior team. So that's another area where I'm also passionate. But above all, I'm also passionate about, going in and improving what we can refer to as stakeholder engagement. Highlanders has so many key stakeholders. Talk about its members, talk about its fans, talk about the sponsors. These are people that I feel should be communicated with, should be brought to a level where they feel so well informed and they feel like they're a part of this big organization. That way, if Highlanders Football Club is moving with its stakeholders step by step, its success is guaranteed.
So there's been dry spells, man, for over years now in terms of the trophy coming to Bulawayo.
Yeah.
Trophy has been going to other provinces, but in Bulawayo it's been dry for years now.
Yeah.
What can you say is the missing link from the previous committee members that you want to bring and something different to try and bring the trophy back into Bulawayo?
Yeah, look, last year we came so close. I think last year alone, out of the 34 matches that Highlanders played, I missed 6 of them, be it home and away. I was there and we were so close. I think if we reflect on the years when we've been successful, you notice that we were possibly successful with most of the players being players from our region. So maybe that's one area where we need to actually relook and say, let's try and structure our team in such a way that we have people that are willing to leave their sweat and their blood on the pitch for the players. Of course, we can always have players coming in from other regions with exceptional talent and all those things. But homegrown talent, in my opinion, is the solution. And obviously, success does not come overnight. So I think there is need for us to actually move together as a club. The administrators, the technical team, the fans, the members, understand where we're going and work together, in unity to try and achieve that. So I think in general, those are areas I feel, we need to focus on, even as I hopefully come in as an executive committee member. These are some of the things that I wish we can drive as a team.
You spoke about earlier on about the Brighton Highlanders, a big brand with many stakeholders across the country.
Yeah.
How will you monetize the Brighton Highlanders to try to bring fans to the team? Over the past years, there's been issues of lack of fans to do this, lack of fans to do that. In 3 years to come, also 10, 100 years. Yeah. How will you monetize the Brighton Highlanders?
Okay, I think if you look, if I'm to refer to Highlanders as an economy, there is so much money being moved around in the name of Highlanders that is not getting to Highlanders. There are so many people that have got different products that they are making in their backyards that they are selling under the brand name Highlanders Football Club. So I feel, if we are quite intentional and we come up with products, that we can already see our community is interested in, we come up with such products and we produce them in huge amounts. If we are not in a position to do those things on our own, we can at least do those things with joint ventures, with special arrangements, with people that can help us do that. And obviously we get something out of it. It's better than not getting anything. Look at issues to do with flags, Highlanders flags that are sold outside the stadium. Look at other small things like cups. Look at even the issue of replicas and all those things. We seem not to sometimes fully supply, as considering what people need. And I think being a big brand, Highlanders is out there, for big corporates to actually come in and relate with it, where we get a financial benefit out of it. But also this is something that we can then use to continue to do well as a club. You cannot also run away from the fact that when we have sponsors, sponsors are key in almost all football leagues. But what we need to also do is also to get to a point where we are a brand that is sought after, in terms of how we are doing our administrative issues, such that brands are not shunning away from us because we will probably put them in bad light. So there are issues of behavior changes that we need. There are issues of corporate governance that we need to improve in, so that this becomes a brand where everyone is willing to associate with, and it's a brand that is looked at as a big money brand.
We're speaking about a brand that everyone is willing to associate with. Now let's speak about the issue of financial reports and the previous AGMs and so on, where we saw there was the issue of financial reports issues there. Speak to that around the issue of transparency and accountability. How big is for the committee members, executive committees, to be transparent to the donors and so on, and to be accountable to the supporters?
Yeah, I think just as I said earlier on, the issue of keeping your stakeholders informed and doing your best to align with such requirements is key. So I believe the executive committee members have that key role in terms of leading at the front. Coming up with the policies that will ensure that this club adheres to all those regulations. It's not the best of positions for us to be having these qualified financial audit opinions and all. We wish we can get to a point where we are now in line with what's expected of us. So obviously the 5 executive committee members are the ones that are at the helm of all this, and they need to be people who understand what it means and understand how we can get there.
Maybe briefly, to someone watching the show, they don't understand the role of a committee member. Maybe tell us the role of a committee member. What is the day-to-day roles of a committee member?
Our Highlanders Football Club constitution says a committee member is supposed to be someone who will be given the role to assist in all departments. Other than assisting in all departments, the committee member should also be someone who can do any duty that is assigned to him by the chairperson of the executive committee or any other member of the executive committee. So, those 2 points can be expanded, in a very big way. When you are saying you need someone who is going to be able to assist in all departments, it means you need someone who can, in any day, deputize the treasurer, in any day, deputize the secretary general, and assist in any other department, depending on the skills that we see in that person and the capacity that they have. So it's a position that the late Ndumi Sokumete, one of the best football administrators we've ever had, may he so rest in peace, he referred to it as umandao, meaning someone who can be anywhere. And if you talk of football terms, you are talking about a box-to-box player, a player who can do anything, can defend, can play in the midfield, can create, can score. So to me, that's a committee member, Highlanders Football Club. And I think at such a time, we need such a person as much as we can get now, such a person with all those capabilities, because this is a time when the club is saying we've gone for so many years without achieving success. We now have so many issues coming up which are quite administrative by their nature. Let's try and come up with a structure that can actually deal with all these issues as best as we can as a club.
Guys, if you're just joining us, this is the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton, and my guest today is Kindman Ndlovu, popularly known as SaNkosie. He's running for Highlanders committee member come the 4th of February. Highlanders elections as they elect their executive committee members. So, Kindman, the issue again now of the Highlanders ukuthi team yezwelonke. What does that term mean to you, team yezwelonke?
I think ukuthi team yezwelonke is referring to where it has been accepted and where it is being supported. I think it's a team where, I've gone to places. You go to Zishavane, you go to Ngezi, you go to Wange, you go to Harare following Highlanders Football Club. You will find people that love this club, and that support it. I think that term is referring to all those people that say it's mine, from different locations of the country that love the club.
Let's speak about the issue of hooliganism in sport. If you go to cricket, it's a lovely game, it's a peaceful game to watch. You can take your kids there. But when it comes to soccer, for example, there's against Dynamos, there's violence. Yeah. What can you say, and what will you do once becoming a committee member of Highlanders, looking at the issue of hooliganism and violence in sport?
Yeah. I think that's a big problem, in our soccer currently. It's not only something that is within matches of Highlanders and Dynamos. It's generally something that we need to attend to as a nation, if I can say that for a start. And obviously, coming to us, there are always so many factors that get to that point. You can talk of issues to do with the quality of the officiating in some of our matches. People are exposed to other leagues, where possibly, the quality of officiating is probably a bit better. And sometimes, we have some of these violent issues in matches coming up after certain decisions. So I think this needs more of all stakeholders to come in and try and deal with it. Obviously, we say in our sport, football, the referee's decision is final, but it's also something that people have to not just stop talking about it. We need to talk about it in terms of and are we not having some of these issues coming up because of the quality of officiating that we have? And then there is obviously the fact that there is fan behavior. Sometimes some fans are generally violent in matches, and it might be because of other factors that have got nothing to do with football. So, it's also an opportunity for us as a club to engage our fans, to engage our supporters, our members, try and educate them, in how important it is to have a safe sport. We want football to be a safe sport where everyone can come there with their children. And come and watch Highlanders Football Club in peace. It's a family sport. That's what we want to achieve by the end of the day. But we need to actually engage all stakeholders. I'm actually hopeful that, if I am elected as an executive committee member, I can push for a creation of a platform, where we can engage with different supporter groups, engage with Highlanders members, the card-carrying members, engage with members of the referees, those that officiate our matches, the police, and also engage even with the PSL and other key stakeholders in a meeting where we can discuss this thing and say, guys, why are we having this every now and then? And we try and talk and come up with solutions having involved all the stakeholders, because we don't want violence in our sport. It's something that actually, paints a very big picture about us. So it's something that I hope we can fight a winning battle. Yeah.
So there's coming the AGM. Then after the AGM is election day. Yes. Maybe take us through the election day. What goes through the election day? What happens through the election day?
Okay. The Highlanders Football Club elections are specifically for card-carrying members that are in good standing with the club at the time of the elections. So we've got two categories of our members. We've got life members, that joined by paying a certain fee and are now members of the club for the rest of their life.
How much are they paying?
Currently, they pay about $100. And then we also have members we call ordinary members. These ones pay a joining fee of $20, and then they pay $10 every other year to renew their membership. So these are the members that will be having access on the election day and will be on our voters' roll, if I can use that word, and will be given the opportunity to vote for a leader that they believe is going to take Highlanders Football Club forward. So within our structures, obviously, we come up with an electoral board which is going to oversee the running of these elections so that they are done in a free and fair way, and hopefully democracy prevails and Highlanders Football Club comes up with leaders that are going to take it forward.
But also, another argument that I've been having was on the issue of the membership, right? To say, and there's a lot of fans, right? You're saying $20 is paid once, joining fee,
yes,
and then $10 annually.
Yes.
But why do you still have fewer people joining as members, but we have many fans in Zimbabwe supporting Highlanders?
Yeah, I think it's an issue of probably how we've been marketing that, in terms of, I spoke to someone the other day and they were saying, I can't remember seeing an advert from your club inviting people to come and join it and be its members. It doesn't look like we are out there and asking people coming to be your members. So maybe that's an area where we need to improve. And then obviously we currently have 2 classes of membership, and those classes of membership, to a certain extent, they are low value in terms of what the member can then benefit once they have joined the club. So I think it goes back to us as the owners of the club to maybe change some of those things, maybe introduce more classes of membership, some of them that can actually come up with benefits, that would attract even more people to come closer, and be part of Highlanders. For now, I think the biggest takeaway is the fact that when you are a member of Highlanders, you are a member of a great institution and you have the opportunity to make decisions, to be part of people who are making decisions to take this institution forward.
Okay. There's been talk again about the issue of amending the Constitution of Highlanders. If you're elected as a committee member of Highlanders, what will you do in terms of amending the Constitution of Highlanders?
Okay. Amendment of the Constitution of Highlanders is something that is currently ongoing, and we have a committee that has been elected or that has been appointed to actually work with the issue of amending the Constitution. It's something that is ongoing. Members have been given the platform to actually raise, sections of the Constitution that they feel need to be amended. So it's something that is very important to us. It's something that is very key. So as I go in, hopefully the members will give me the opportunity to go in and be part of the executive. As I go in, it's an area where I would want to contribute as much as I can, because look, we are also saying let's amend this Constitution because it's no longer in line with current football administration. You talk about issues to do with CAF licensing, FIFA licensing right now. There are so many things that are expected from us, as a club, where we seem to be lagging behind, and sometimes it's because of our Constitution. Talk of issues of even overriding roles, within the structure of the club. It's also something that we see embedded in the Constitution. So yes, we are on the right path. We are working on that in terms of making some amendments. The executive is there to just enable that process and make sure that it comes into conclusion. We need to rise and be at the same level with other clubs.
Earlier on, spoke about having a CAF license. Will you see you in future pursuing coaching?
I'm a big fan of the sport. I love the sport a lot. So yeah, when I started, I was saying, let me just do this. But above all, one thing that I've always taken seriously as a person is to always inform yourself. Sometimes when you don't understand, football in general, you will never understand even the laws of the sport and how some decisions are even reached at by the coaches. So it was just me trying to introduce myself to it. But I think I'm happier with administrative roles as things stand. I see a sports administrator in myself, and I hope, I can continue to be inspired by some of the great sports administrators that Highlanders Football Club has had, and, hopefully come in at a lower level. And you never know, if the members continue, investing in me, making me better, I also keep on pushing myself. Yeah. Who knows where I'll get. Yeah,
come the 4th of February, I'm a member of Highlanders. I'm voting member of Highlanders. If I go to the ballot paper there, I see the name Kindman Ndlovu. Why should I vote for you? There's the camera over there. Why should I vote for Kindman Ndlovu?
To the members of Highlanders Football Club, I say to you, vote for Kindman Ndlovu. Kindman Ndlovu has the capacity of becoming a committee member that is able to assist in all departments. Kindman Ndlovu has the capacity to do any other duty that can be given to him by the members of the executive. I say that because Kindman Ndlovu is a qualified sports administrator who understands a number of the issues that are key when we are administering a sports club, in this case, Highlanders Football Club. Kindman Ndlovu also has basic knowledge in terms of coaching. The executive committee member is going to be in touch with the team in most of the cases. He actually travels with the team sometimes as the head of the delegation. Let's vote for Kindman Ndlovu, who understands what is needed in football in those areas and can relate very well with the executive team members and even with the players. Vote for Kindman Ndlovu, who is already a senior practitioner in the healthcare industry and is going to add value in that area. Currently within Highlanders Football Club, be it in the board, be it in the executive, we do not have someone who is holding a senior role within the healthcare industry. And that's an area where I feel I can add value in terms of the decisions we'll make in that area as Highlanders Football Club. Kindman Ndlovu is a lecturer at the National Manifesto of Science and Technology. This is another area which we can also benefit from as Highlanders. The National Manifesto of Science and Technology has a sports science department. We can foster a relationship with this institution and benefit from things in the area of sports science and even in research. Some of the problems we have in our institution are just problems we can solve if we dig deeper, and we have an opportunity of doing that with our relationship with NAS through Kindman Ndlovu. Kindman Ndlovu is a young person, energetic, committed, and dedicated to the club. But above all, he is a business administrator by training, and also someone who is very entrepreneurial. I love doing projects. I love creating as many avenues of revenue as I can. Allow me to come closer to the club and help us in generating such ideas and even following up with such ideas. Kindman Ndlovu is someone who believes in stakeholder engagement, and I'm not afraid to work with the people and talk to the people. I've already done that in our initiatives as a club when we're raising funds to help Peter Mtua, pay for his funds, even when he had issues of the funds that were arrested during that violence match which we had with the Dynamos. So I say to you, Kindman Ndlovu at this point is the best executive committee member that you can elect. Thank you.
Ndlovu, all the best to the end elections. All the best, best man win.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys. Come 4th of February, Highlanders is going to the polls, if I say that word, to elect their committee members, executive committee actually, come on the 4th of February. So if you're in good standing with the team membership, with your membership, you can go and cast your vote there to elect your leaders that will lead Highlanders in the coming year as you go forward in terms of sports administration. For myself, Brighton, I hope you guys enjoy the show, and please do follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and enjoy the program that we have for you. For myself, it's bye for now.